You don't truly know your strength until life forces you to stand alone. When everything around you collapses, that's when your real power begins to rise. Pain doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're still alive, still fighting, and still capable of more than you think. Your peace begins the moment you stop trying to control what's gone and start building with what's left. The strength you need is already inside you. It's just buried under fear, doubt, and exhaustion. Today, we'll talk about how to find that strength when everything feels like it's crashing down. You'll learn how to hold yourself together when the world around you doesn't. Mental strength is not about pretending to be okay. It's about facing the chaos and choosing not to let it define you. If you're ready to take back control of your mind and rebuild from the ruins, then let's dive in. Number 1. Accept your emotions and allow yourself to feel fully. There's a moment in life when everything seems to fall apart. Maybe it's losing someone you love. Maybe it's waking up one day and realizing you're not where you thought you'd be. Your business fails. Your health takes a hit. Someone you counted on walks away. And in that moment, you feel like the floor's been ripped from underneath you. You're not just disappointed. You're shaken. You question everything, your decisions, your value, your strength. And the first thing people often do, they shut down. They bury what they feel. They act like they're okay when they're falling apart inside. But here's the truth most people don't hear enough. Your emotions aren't the enemy. Denying them is. You're human. That means you feel, and when something painful happens, it's natural to hurt. It's natural to be angry, scared, confused, or overwhelmed. The strength isn't in pretending you're fine. The strength is in allowing yourself to feel. All of it. Without judgment. Without shame. You don't need to hide your tears. You don't need to silence your thoughts. What you need is to understand that emotions are a signal. They're trying to tell you something. When everything around you is collapsing, those emotions you're feeling, they're real. They matter. And pushing them down won't make them disappear. It just makes them louder in silence. Sometimes we're taught to be tough by ignoring what we feel. But that isn't toughness. That's avoidance. And avoidance will keep you stuck. You want to be mentally strong? Then give yourself permission to sit with what's happening inside you. It won't break you. In fact, the more you allow yourself to feel, the more you heal. The more you listen to your emotions, the more you learn what you need. Maybe it's rest. Maybe it's clarity. Maybe it's forgiveness. But you won't know until you stop running from what you feel. When things fall apart, you might feel shame. You might hear that inner voice saying, "You should be stronger than this," or "You shouldn't cry," or "This is weakness." But that's not your truth. That's fear talking. That's pressure you've picked up from a world that's too quick to judge and too slow to understand. Mental strength isn't about suppressing what hurts. It's about facing it. You become mentally strong, not by being numb, but by allowing your emotions to flow through you and still choosing to stand up anyway. If you've ever sat alone in your room and felt like no one understood what you were going through, you're not alone. Millions of people go through heartbreak, loss, disappointment, and the worst part is not the pain, but the isolation that comes with pretending it's not there. If you're hurting, admit that to yourself. Say it out loud if you need to. Not to get sympathy, but to get clarity. That pain needs to move through you, not get trapped inside you. Because emotions don't vanish, they wait. And if you ignore them today, they'll show up tomorrow in ways you didn't expect. In your relationships, in your health, in your decisions. So feel now, so you don't have to carry it later. And I'll say this with no hesitation. It's okay to cry. It's okay to scream. It's okay to sit in silence. It's okay to grieve. None of that means you're weak. It means you're human. And being human is what gives you your power. The person who can face what they feel is the person who can face anything. The key is not to stay stuck in the emotion, but to walk through it, to let it move, and then let it pass. You've got to understand something else too. Emotions come in waves. One moment you might feel strong, and the next you're back in tears. That doesn't mean you're losing ground. That doesn't mean you're going backwards. That's how healing looks. It's not a straight line. It's not predictable. Some days will be heavy. Some moments will hit hard out of nowhere. But none of that means you're failing. It means you're feeling, and that's the start of growing. Think about this. If you broke a bone, would you tell yourself to just walk it off? No. You'd give it time. You'd give it attention. You'd allow it to heal. Why treat emotional pain any differently? Just because people can't see what you're going through doesn't make it less real. Your heart matters. Your mind matters. Your peace matters. And the process of healing starts when you acknowledge that. Sometimes people feel like they have to put on a brave face for others, for their family, their friends, their co-workers. But here's the thing, you don't owe anyone that. Not at the cost of your own truth. You can be honest about your struggle and still be strong. You can admit your pain and still be powerful. The real courage is in telling yourself the truth, even when it's hard. And when you accept your emotions, something incredible happens. You start to build trust with yourself. You begin to understand your triggers. You recognize what lifts you and what drains you. You become more self-aware. And that awareness becomes your strength. That's when mental strength becomes real. Not when you're trying to act strong, but when you actually feel grounded in who you are, no matter what life throws at you. You also start to become more compassionate with others. When you've been in that dark place, when you've let yourself feel what most people hide, you become more understanding. You listen more. You judge less. And that makes you better. Not just for yourself, but for the people around you. So here's the truth. When everything falls apart, the strongest thing you can do is feel it all. Don't rush to fix it. Don't force yourself to smile. Sit with it. Own it. Let it shake you. Let it break the surface. Because that's where healing begins. That's where your strength grows. Not behind a mask, but in the raw, unfiltered reality of what it means to live fully. Mental strength doesn't mean you're always okay. It means you're honest with yourself when you're not, and you still keep showing up. That's where the shift begins, and it starts the moment you stop running from what you feel and start listening to it. You're not broken. You're not lost. You're in the process of becoming someone stronger, someone wiser, someone who doesn't just survive the storm, but learns from it. And that journey starts here, by accepting what you feel, not judging it. By looking at your emotions, not as something to fight against, but as something to understand. And when you do that, even in the worst of times, you'll find your way forward. Not because it's easy, but because you're finally standing in your truth. That's where your real strength lives. Number 2, focus on what you can control in every situation. When life is falling apart, it's easy to feel like everything is spinning out of control. You wake up every day wondering what new challenge will hit you next. The truth is, there are moments when the world feels heavy, like a weight pushing down on your chest, making it hard to breathe or think clearly. During those times, the mind tends to race in all directions, grabbing onto every worry, every possibility of failure or loss, and it's exhausting. That's where many people get stuck. They focus on what's outside their power, on things they can't change, and that only deepens the sense of helplessness. The secret to becoming mentally strong when everything falls apart is learning to shift your attention to what you can control, no matter how small those things might seem. Imagine your mind as a room full of windows. Some windows show the storm outside, the chaos, the problems, the things beyond your reach. Others show the quiet parts, the actions and choices that are yours to make. When the storm rages, it's tempting to stand by those big windows and watch the destruction unfold. But the strong person closes those windows and focuses on the things inside, where their influence matters. It's not about ignoring the problems. It's about not letting them paralyze you. It's about finding the little corners where your efforts can make a difference and pouring your energy there. Control means taking responsibility for your thoughts, your choices, and your actions. It means refusing to give your power away to circumstances or other people. When your business fails, you may not control the market, but you control how you respond. When relationships break down, you can't control the other person's feelings or actions, but you can control how you take care of your own heart. When your health challenges you, you might not control the illness, but you control the choices you make daily, what you eat, how you rest, whether you seek help. The moment you start focusing on what you can do, you stop being a victim and start being a fighter. This kind of focus brings clarity. It sharpens your mind because your energy is no longer scattered. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by everything going wrong, you begin to see the steps you can take. Those steps, though small, become the foundation of your mental strength. Taking action, even in the smallest way, builds momentum. Momentum leads to confidence. Confidence reminds you that you are not powerless. Every day you choose what to do next. You choose your attitude. You decide whether to give up or push forward. One powerful way to focus on what you can control is by managing your daily habits. You can't always control what life throws at you, but you control how you start your day, how you take care of your body, what you feed your mind. These small choices create a structure, a sense of order in the chaos. Structure acts like an anchor, holding you steady when storms hit. It reminds you that despite the pain or uncertainty, you have parts of your life you can influence, and that is where your strength grows. Sometimes, control feels like a foreign concept because problems appear so massive that your efforts seem meaningless. But the truth is, control is found in moments. Moments when you decide to breathe deeply instead of reacting with panic. Moments when you choose to speak kindly to yourself instead of with harsh judgment. Moments when you focus on what's in front of you instead of the impossible future. These moments add up. They build resilience. They keep you standing when everything around you shakes. It's also important to recognize that focusing on what you can control means letting go of what you can't. This is a hard lesson because human nature wants to fix everything, to hold on tightly to hopes and expectations. But holding on to things beyond your control only drains your energy and increases frustration. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about accepting reality so you can move forward. Acceptance frees your mind from unnecessary battles. It clears the fog so you can see your next step clearly. Mental strength grows in the space where acceptance meets action. You accept the things outside your control, but you act powerfully on the things within it. That's where your power lives. That's how you turn chaos into order. That's how you build the mental muscles to survive the hard times. Another key part of focusing on what you can control is how you handle your thoughts. Thoughts are powerful, but they're not always facts. Your mind might tell you you're a failure or that things will never get better, but those thoughts don't define you. You control which thoughts you give attention to. You control whether you believe the negative stories or challenge them. Training your mind to focus on realistic, helpful thoughts is like training a muscle. It takes practice. When you catch yourself spiraling into what-if fears, bring your focus back to the present moment and what you can do now. This shift, even though small, can change the whole direction of your day. It helps to write down what's within your control. Make lists of actions you can take, no matter how simple. Maybe it's reaching out to a friend. Maybe it's setting a goal for the day. Maybe it's taking a walk. Writing these things down keeps your focus clear. It reminds you of your power and your ability to influence your own life, even when outside circumstances seem bleak. Understanding your circle of control also means setting boundaries. Sometimes focusing on what you can control means saying no to things or people that drain your energy or pull you into negativity. Protecting your mental space is an act of strength. It's a way of saying, I deserve peace and focus. When you guard your time and attention carefully, you create room to grow and heal. It's natural to want quick fixes or to wish that everything would just suddenly get better. But mental strength isn't built on hope alone, it's built on consistent choices. Each time you decide to focus on what you control, you reinforce your own power. You prove to yourself that no matter the chaos, you have a role to play in shaping your story. And when you focus on what's within your control, you gain clarity on what really matters. Sometimes, the noise of everything falling apart can cloud your judgment. You feel pulled in every direction, unsure where to start. Narrowing your focus helps you prioritize. It helps you put your energy into the things that will make a difference instead of spreading yourself thin. It helps you find peace in the process. There's no magic switch for mental strength. It's built step by step by turning your attention toward the things you can do, not the things you can't. It's about reclaiming your power one choice at a time. It's about waking up every day and deciding, I will take charge of my thoughts. I will take charge of my actions. I will not let what's outside my control define me. This way of thinking changes your entire experience. Instead of feeling like a victim of circumstance, you become an active participant in your life. Instead of sinking into despair, you start to build a new foundation, one that's grounded in action and reality. The road may still be difficult, the storms may still come, but you will stand firmer because you know where your power lies. So, when everything falls apart, don't waste your energy on things outside your reach. Shift your focus inward. Look at your daily choices. Look at your mindset. Look at the actions that build strength. That's where the path to mental resilience begins. You control that. And that control is your greatest tool to rebuild and move forward. Number 3, develop a daily routine to build mental stability. Life has a way of throwing everything into chaos when you least expect it. One day, your world feels steady, and the next, it seems like every part of it is unraveling. When things fall apart, the mind struggles to find balance. It craves predictability because predictability creates safety. The truth is, when your life feels like it's spinning out of control, one of the most powerful steps you can take is to build a daily routine. This isn't about making your life rigid or boring. It's about creating a foundation, a sense of order that helps your mind find peace amid the storm. The structure you build through daily habits anchors you and keeps you moving forward even when everything feels uncertain. The challenge most people face when everything breaks down is feeling lost in the moment. You wake up and there's no clear path. The day feels heavy, filled with unknowns, and your mind jumps from worry to worry. Without a plan or rhythm, this spiral becomes even more intense. That's where a daily routine steps in. It's a deliberate framework that guides your actions and thoughts. It doesn't erase the problems, but it slows the chaos down enough for you to breathe, think, and act. A routine provides a sense of control. When so many external forces are out of your hands, controlling what you do every day becomes your anchor. Think about it this way. Every morning, when you choose to wake up at the same time, eat something nourishing, or take a moment for yourself, you are giving your brain a clear signal. You're still in charge of some parts of your life. That signal calms your nervous system. It tells your mind that while things are difficult, you're not lost. You're still standing. The beauty of a routine is that it doesn't have to be complicated. Start with small, consistent actions. It might be making your bed every morning. It could be a simple stretch or a few minutes of quiet reflection. Even writing down your intentions for the day helps. These small actions build momentum. Momentum becomes habit. And habits create a stable foundation for mental strength. When you have these daily touch points, they become a shield against the unpredictability outside. Mental stability doesn't mean your emotions disappear. It means you create a steady base so those emotions don't sweep you away. With a routine, even if your feelings are heavy, you have a plan to guide you through the day. You're not drifting in an emotional storm, you're navigating it with purpose. A daily routine also helps your mind focus. When everything is unclear, the mind becomes scattered. It jumps from problem to problem, feeling overwhelmed. A routine provides clear tasks and priorities. This clarity reduces mental clutter and allows you to use your energy wisely. Instead of wasting time and strength on worries, you dedicate it to actions that move you forward, even if those actions seem small. Including moments for self-care in your routine is crucial. Taking care of your mind and body is not selfish, it's necessary. Simple practices like drinking water regularly, going for a walk, or setting aside time to rest can dramatically affect how resilient you feel. When your body feels cared for, your mind can handle more. The connection between physical well-being and mental strength is real and powerful. When you build those self-care habits into your daily rhythm, you're investing in your ability to stay strong. A common mistake is to wait until you feel better before establishing routine. But mental strength grows not when everything is perfect, but when you build habits through the hard times. Creating a routine while life is hard is one of the most courageous things you can do. It's a commitment to yourself that you matter, even if things are falling apart. It shows you're willing to take steady steps rather than waiting for the chaos to end. When creating your routine, it's important to balance structure with flexibility. Life doesn't pause for your plans, and emergencies or unexpected emotions will arise. Your routine isn't meant to trap you, but to support you. Be kind to yourself when days don't go as planned. The goal is progress, not perfection. Adjust your routine as needed, but keep returning to it. This consistency becomes your refuge. Another important part of a routine is scheduling time for reflection. This might be journaling, meditating, or simply sitting quietly and acknowledging your feelings. Reflection helps you process what you're experiencing. It provides insights and clarity. Without this pause, emotions can build up and cloud your mind. Routine reflection helps you stay connected to your inner world and allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Building a routine also means planning your breaks. When everything is falling apart, it's tempting to keep pushing yourself to fix it all immediately. But without breaks, you burn out quickly. Regular pauses in your day renew your energy and keep your mind fresh. Breaks help you avoid exhaustion and keep your focus sharp. For many, routine includes setting priorities for the day. When everything feels overwhelming, deciding what matters most can be difficult. A daily routine with clear priorities prevents you from getting lost in distractions or unnecessary tasks. Prioritize what feeds your mental strength, whether it's reaching out to a friend, doing a small project, or practicing gratitude. These intentional choices make a difference over time. When you commit to a routine, you start to notice something remarkable. Your sense of stability grows. Your mind learns to trust that even when outside circumstances are wild, you have a predictable part of your life. That trust is the foundation of resilience. It's what lets you face difficult emotions without crumbling. It's what helps you make decisions with calm instead of panic. You might think a routine sounds boring or limiting, but in truth, it frees you. It frees your mind from chaos and gives you space to think clearly. It frees your heart from constant overwhelm by breaking your day into manageable pieces. And most importantly, it frees your spirit to rebuild because it knows it has a safe place to return to every day. Creating a routine isn't a one-time fix. It's a process of discovery. You might try different things and adjust as you learn what helps you most. Some days, your routine might be shorter or slower, and that's okay. The goal is a rhythm that supports you, not one that adds pressure. Remember, mental strength is not about being unshakable. It's about being steady enough to handle the shakes. Your routine is the steady ground beneath your feet. The simple, repeated actions that become your daily guide are more powerful than you realize. They remind your brain that you are capable, that you are present, and that you can manage your life even when everything else feels unstable. This daily rhythm creates a ripple effect. Stability in your routine helps your sleep improve, your thoughts clear, your mood steady. When one area of your life gains structure, other areas follow. Your relationships improve because you have more patience and presence. Your work improves because you're more focused. Your sense of self improves because you're showing up for yourself consistently. Building a routine is a declaration to yourself. I am worth care and effort, even when things are hard. It's a commitment to mental strength that doesn't depend on circumstances, but on your own dedication. No matter how broken things feel, a daily routine gives you a foundation to stand on. It's your steady hand in the storm, your way back to balance and peace. It is a step that anyone can take, and it will change everything. Number 4. Practice gratitude to shift your mindset positively. When everything is falling apart, it feels like the world has turned against you. You might wake up with a heavy heart, weighed down by problems that seem to have no end. In moments like this, the mind naturally focuses on what's wrong, what's missing, what's lost, what hurts. That's a normal response because pain demands attention. But here's the challenge. When you only see the difficulties, your mind gets stuck in a loop of negativity. This cycle drains your energy, deepens despair, and makes it harder to find a way forward. One of the most effective ways to break this cycle is by practicing gratitude. This is not about pretending things are fine when they aren't, but about intentionally noticing and appreciating what is still good and true in your life. Gratitude has the power to shift your mindset from scarcity to possibility, from darkness to light, and from feeling stuck to feeling hopeful. At first, gratitude might seem impossible or even strange when you're surrounded by pain. You might think, how can I be grateful when everything is falling apart? That's exactly why it's so important. Gratitude rewires your brain. When you actively look for things to appreciate, your mind begins to notice more good things around you. This doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending hardship doesn't exist. Instead, it means acknowledging that even in hard times, life still offers small gifts, moments, people, strengths that you can hold on to. These gifts become the foundation for your mental strength. Starting with gratitude feels simple, but it's powerful. It can begin with something as small as the warmth of the sun on your face or the sound of a loved one's voice. It might be a roof over your head, a meal on your table, or the ability to take a deep breath. These may sound minor compared to your struggles, but recognizing them grounds you in the present and reminds you that not everything is lost. This simple act can create a powerful shift in how you feel and how you see your world. When you practice gratitude regularly, your brain starts to build new pathways. It learns to scan your life for positives rather than just negatives. This shift changes your emotional experience. Instead of waking up dreading the day, you begin to notice little things that bring warmth or comfort. You might realize the kindness of a stranger or the resilience you didn't know you had. Over time, these moments add up, creating a reservoir of strength you can draw from when challenges arise. Gratitude also creates a sense of perspective. When you focus only on your problems, it feels like they are the whole story. Gratitude widens your view and reminds you that your life contains many layers: joy, love, growth, and beauty, even if they are overshadowed at times. This broader perspective helps you face difficulties with more courage and patience. It shows you that life is complex and that hard times are just one part of your journey. Practicing gratitude changes how you relate to yourself and others. When you appreciate your own efforts, even small ones, you build self-compassion. You stop beating yourself up for not being perfect or for struggling. You begin to understand that you are doing your best in a tough situation, and that is enough. This kindness toward yourself is vital for mental strength because it keeps you from falling into despair or giving up. Gratitude also improves your relationships. When you express appreciation for the people around you, you strengthen your bonds. Feeling supported and connected is one of the most important things for mental resilience. When you notice and thank those who help you, even in small ways, it creates a cycle of positive energy and mutual care. This connection becomes a source of comfort and encouragement when life feels harsh. To make gratitude a real practice, it helps to create a habit. Some people find it useful to write down 3 things they're grateful for each day. Others take a few moments in the morning or before bed to reflect on what went well. This simple exercise trains your mind to find goodness even when it feels buried. The more consistent you are, the stronger your mindset becomes. It's important to be honest in your gratitude. Don't force yourself to be grateful for things that don't feel genuine. Instead, look for small truths. Something kind a friend said, a moment of quiet, a breath of fresh air. These honest acknowledgements build trust in yourself and your feelings. Over time, they open the door to deeper gratitude, even for the hard lessons life teaches. Gratitude can also help you reframe your challenges. Instead of seeing setbacks only as failures, you start to view them as opportunities to learn and grow. You recognize the strength it takes to face hardship and the wisdom gained from struggle. This mindset softens the blow of difficulty and turns pain into a stepping stone rather than a trap. When you focus on gratitude, your emotional state changes. The tension in your body eases. Your chest feels lighter. Your mind stops racing with negative what-ifs. This physical shift supports mental strength by calming your nervous system. It creates space for hope and clarity even in the midst of chaos. You may notice that gratitude doesn't erase pain, but it does balance it. It's like a beam of light cutting through darkness. That light doesn't remove the shadows, but it gives you something to hold on to so you don't get lost. In the hardest moments, gratitude becomes a lifeline, a way to remind yourself that life still holds value and meaning. The practice of gratitude also helps you focus on the present moment. When you appreciate what is here and now, you stop getting lost in regrets about the past or worries about the future. Staying present reduces anxiety and helps you respond to your circumstances more clearly and calmly. This presence is a core component of mental strength because it allows you to face life as it is, not as your fears imagine it to be. Gratitude can be a powerful weapon against despair. It reminds you that you are more than your problems. It shows you that even when everything seems to crumble, your life still has beauty and meaning. It connects you to a deeper sense of hope and possibility. Building a gratitude habit is like building a muscle. It requires time, patience, and repetition. Some days it will be easy. Other days it will feel impossible. But every time you choose gratitude, you strengthen your mind's ability to find light in darkness. Every time you notice something good, you add a drop of fuel to your inner fire. Mental strength is not about ignoring pain or pretending everything is okay. It's about choosing where to put your attention. Practicing gratitude is choosing to see the good that remains, the love that surrounds you, and the strength inside you. It's a decision to stand tall and keep moving forward, no matter how difficult the path. In the midst of turmoil, gratitude becomes a quiet but powerful act of resistance. It says, I am still here, I am still grateful, I am still capable of finding meaning. That mindset carries you through the darkest nights and prepares you for the brighter days ahead. It transforms your experience and builds a foundation of hope and strength that no one can take away. Number 5. Set small, achievable goals to regain your confidence. When everything is falling apart, it's easy to feel like you're trapped in a place where nothing works and nothing will ever get better. The weight of disappointment and failure can crush your spirit, and that makes even the idea of moving forward feel impossible. The truth is, when your confidence is shaken, the biggest mistake is trying to fix everything at once. That only leads to frustration and defeat. What builds mental strength during hard times is setting small, clear, achievable goals. Goals that remind you still have control, still have power, and still have the ability to create change. These tiny victories add up. They rebuild your belief in yourself, brick by brick. Confidence is not some magical trait that people are born with. It is something earned through action, through doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel ready. The problem many face when life collapses is that their vision becomes clouded. They think about everything that's wrong, every mistake, every failure. They feel overwhelmed and paralyzed. But the antidote to overwhelm is to break things down, to shrink your focus to just one small step you can take right now. When you focus on what you can do immediately, you stop being a victim of circumstance and become an active participant in your own recovery. Setting small goals is about clarity. It means identifying one thing, just one, that you can achieve today. It might be something as simple as organizing your workspace, sending a message to a friend, or taking a walk. It doesn't have to be grand or complicated. What matters is that it's doable and that it moves you forward. Achieving this goal sparks a shift in your mindset. You feel a sense of accomplishment. Your brain rewards you with a hit of confidence. This feeling is fuel for your mental strength. Many people make the mistake of setting huge goals when they're already struggling. They aim for big changes, getting a new job, fixing a broken relationship, or turning their life completely around in a day. These goals sound good, but when you're overwhelmed, they feel impossible. Missing those big goals only deepens self-doubt and pain. That's why small goals are crucial. They build momentum. Each small win says, "I am capable, I am moving." This momentum is the foundation of real confidence. Another important part of setting small goals is being specific. Vague goals like feel better or get organized don't give you a clear path. Specific goals like write down 3 things I'm grateful for or walk for 10 minutes outside give your mind a clear target. This clarity reduces anxiety and uncertainty. You know exactly what you need to do. This sense of direction alone calms the mind and boosts your strength. Small goals also help you build resilience. When you set a goal and achieve it, you practice discipline and focus. These skills are like muscles. They grow stronger with use. Over time, as your ability to meet these small goals improves, your confidence grows in parallel. You start to trust yourself again. You see that you have the power to shape your life, even in tiny ways. A key part of this process is celebrating progress. Often, when people struggle, they overlook their own efforts. They focus only on what they haven't done or what went wrong. But celebrating small wins reinforces positive behavior. It tells your mind this effort matters. Recognizing progress, no matter how small, creates a positive feedback loop. This loop makes it easier to keep going, even on hard days. Setting small goals also creates a sense of purpose. When life feels broken, purpose is one of the first things to disappear. You might feel like you're just surviving rather than living. Small goals give you something to aim for, a reason to get up in the morning. That purpose reignites your motivation. It reminds you that your story isn't finished and that you have the ability to write the next chapter. It's important to keep your goals realistic. They need to stretch you just enough to challenge, but not so much that they discourage. If a goal feels overwhelming, break it down further. For example, instead of saying clean the entire house, focus on clean the kitchen counter, small enough that it feels doable, big enough that it makes a difference. This approach prevents burnout and keeps your energy steady. Another benefit of small goals is that they help you focus on what you can control. When everything feels out of control, your mind can spiral into fear and helplessness. But focusing on achievable tasks brings your attention back to the present moment and what's within your reach. This focus reduces stress and builds mental clarity. Accountability can boost your progress with small goals. Sharing your goals with someone supportive, whether a friend, family member, or coach, creates encouragement and commitment. When someone checks in with you or celebrates your wins, you feel less alone. This support strengthens your resolve and helps keep you consistent. Sometimes the hardest part is starting. You might hesitate because you fear failure or doubt your ability. The truth is, starting small removes a lot of that fear. When the goal is manageable, the pressure to succeed disappears. You can approach it with curiosity rather than dread. Taking that first step, no matter how small, breaks the cycle of inaction. Mental strength grows not from perfect progress, but from persistence. There will be days when you don't meet your goals. That's normal. What matters is not giving up. When you miss a goal, use it as an opportunity to learn, adjust, and try again. This resilience, built through small successes and setbacks, is what shapes a strong mind. Another important point is flexibility. Life doesn't always cooperate. Some days are harder than others. Be willing to adjust your goals to fit your energy and circumstances. The goal is to keep moving forward, not to stick rigidly to a plan that no longer serves you. This flexibility is a sign of strength, not weakness. Small goals also build confidence by helping you reclaim your identity. When things fall apart, people often lose their sense of self. They feel like a broken version of who they once were. But each goal you achieve reminds you who you are, the person who acts, who cares, who keeps going. This reclamation of identity is crucial for rebuilding confidence. Setting small goals encourages a growth mindset. Instead of thinking, "I can't do this," you start believing, "I can try, I can learn." This shift in thinking opens up new possibilities. It helps you see challenges as opportunities rather than threats. This mindset change is a cornerstone of mental strength. The power of small goals is that they bring you back to the present and to your own power. No matter how big the problems are outside, the small actions you take inside your control shape your future. With each goal you meet, your confidence grows, your hope strengthens, and your ability to face life's challenges deepens. Confidence isn't a gift you wait for, it's a skill you build. Setting and achieving small goals is the most practical, effective way to rebuild that skill when life falls apart. It's a steady path forward when the road seems impossible. This approach empowers you to move from feeling powerless to feeling capable, one small step at a time. Number 6. Surround yourself with supportive and understanding people. When everything around you feels like it's crumbling and your mind is full of doubts and fears, one of the most important things to remember is that you don't have to face it alone. The people you spend your time with have a powerful impact on your mental strength. The kind of energy, support, and understanding you receive from those around you can either lift you up or drag you down. When your life is falling apart, being around negative, judgmental, or unsupportive people only adds weight to the burden you already carry. But surrounding yourself with those who truly understand and support you creates an environment where healing and strength can take root. Many people underestimate just how critical the social circle is when it comes to mental resilience. The truth is, no one builds mental toughness in isolation. We are wired for connection. Our brains respond to the company we keep. When you're surrounded by people who listen without judgment, who encourage you to keep going, and who believe in your ability to rise again, it changes your inner dialogue. You start to hear more kindness, more hope, and more possibility in your own thoughts. This shift in mindset is essential when your world feels upside down. It's not always easy to find the right people, especially when life is hard. Sometimes you may realize that certain relationships drain you instead of helping you. It's a painful but necessary part of mental strength to recognize when some connections do more harm than good. Letting go of toxic or unsupportive people is a step toward protecting your mental well-being. It's not about pushing others away for no reason, but about creating a space where your spirit can breathe and grow without constant criticism, negativity, or misunderstanding. Supportive people come in many forms: friends, family, mentors, colleagues, or even new acquaintances who share your values and care about your growth. What matters most is that these people listen with empathy and offer encouragement, not unsolicited advice or judgment. Being understood feels like a balm to a wounded mind. When you share your struggles with someone who responds with patience and kindness, it lowers your stress levels and reminds you that you're not alone in this fight. Understanding people don't just hear your words, they pay attention to your feelings. They recognize the pain behind the surface, even when you're struggling to put it into words. This emotional connection builds trust, which is the foundation of any meaningful support. When trust exists, you feel safer expressing vulnerability, which is a key ingredient in developing mental strength. Vulnerability is not weakness, it's the doorway to healing. Sometimes the people you need most may not be the ones physically close to you. Thanks to technology, you can connect with supportive communities online or groups that focus on mental health and personal growth. These virtual connections can be just as powerful, offering a space where people share similar challenges, successes, and insights. Feeling part of a community where others truly understand your experience reduces isolation and builds resilience. It's also important to engage with people who inspire you to become better, not by pressuring or demanding change, but by living their own lives with integrity and positivity. Surrounding yourself with individuals who pursue growth and face challenges head-on creates a positive influence that encourages you to do the same. Inspiration is contagious, and being around people who show courage can help you find your own. While support is crucial, it's equally important that your relationships are balanced. Give and take should flow naturally. Sometimes when you're struggling, you may feel like you can only take from others. But mental strength is also about contributing to relationships, even in small ways. Offering kindness, listening to someone else, or sharing a positive word creates connection and reminds you that you're not just a receiver of support, but also a giver. This balance nurtures self-worth and mutual respect. In moments of despair, isolation often feels like the safest option. Yet isolation tends to magnify pain and cloud judgment. The mind begins to focus on fears and doubts without any outside perspective. When you reach out to the right people, their presence breaks this cycle. Their encouragement shines a light on possibilities you may not see when alone. That light makes it easier to hold on to hope. Building a support system requires courage and effort. It means opening up when you'd rather hide. It means asking for help when pride wants to keep you silent. Remember, asking for support is a sign of strength, not weakness. It shows that you recognize your humanity and your need for connection. No one can be mentally strong by pretending they have to do everything alone. Quality of support matters more than quantity. A few genuinely understanding people can provide more strength than a large group of indifferent ones. Choose your company wisely. Notice how you feel after spending time with certain individuals. Do you feel energized or drained? Heard or dismissed? Encouraged or judged? These feelings are clues about who is truly supporting your mental health. It's natural to feel hesitant about trusting others, especially if you've been hurt or let down before. But each new connection is an opportunity to build something healthier. Start by sharing small things, testing the waters and observing how people respond. Over time, you'll find those who truly care. Invest your energy in those relationships. They will be the pillars you lean on when the storm rages hardest. Supportive people don't always fix your problems. They don't always give you answers. What they do is show up consistently. They offer a listening ear, a comforting presence, and a belief in your potential. That consistent presence is a lifeline. It reminds you that you're not defined by your struggles, but by your ability to keep moving forward with the help of others. Being around supportive people also teaches you how to support yourself better. When you experience kindness and patience, you learn to treat yourself the same way. You develop self-compassion, which is critical for mental strength. Harsh self-criticism only deepens wounds. Self-compassion, modeled by those who support you, helps you heal and grow stronger from adversity. In the hardest moments, when your mind is flooded with doubts and your emotions threaten to overwhelm you, the presence of supportive people can steady you. They remind you of your worth when you forget. They encourage you to keep trying when you feel like giving up. This kind of support fuels resilience because it's rooted in real connection, not empty platitudes. Strengthening your support network doesn't happen overnight. It takes patience and persistence. Reach out even when it feels difficult. Stay connected regularly, not just when you're struggling. Building these relationships over time creates a foundation of trust and reliability. That foundation becomes a safe place you can return to whenever life challenges you. Mental strength thrives in connection. It grows in the soil of understanding, encouragement, and kindness. When everything falls apart, those who walk beside you, who believe in you, and who listen to your story make all the difference. They remind you that while you can't control every circumstance, you don't have to face it alone. With the right support, your mind can heal, your confidence can rebuild, and you can find the courage to keep moving forward, one step at a time. Number 7. Use mindfulness techniques to stay present and calm. When life feels like it's spinning out of control, the chaos in your mind can be the hardest part to handle. Your thoughts rush in every direction, fears multiply, and anxiety tightens its grip. It's easy to get overwhelmed when your mind won't stop replaying the worst-case scenarios or dragging you into regrets and worries about what might happen next. This is where mindfulness comes in. Not as some complicated concept, but as a simple way to bring yourself back to the here and now. When everything feels like it's falling apart, being able to ground yourself in the present moment gives you a chance to breathe, regain control, and make clearer decisions. Mindfulness is about paying attention to your experience with openness and without judgment. It's noticing what's happening inside and outside of you without trying to fix it or push it away. When you start practicing mindfulness, you learn to observe your thoughts and feelings rather than being swept away by them. Instead of being caught in the storm of emotions, you become an observer. This distance gives you power because it breaks the habit of reacting automatically and allows you to respond more thoughtfully. Many people think mindfulness requires hours of meditation or complicated exercises. That's not true. It begins with simple steps you can take anytime, anywhere. For example, focusing on your breath is one of the most effective ways to anchor yourself. When you feel your heart racing or your mind spiraling, slow your breathing and pay attention to how the air feels as it enters and leaves your body. This simple act signals your brain to calm down. You might notice your chest rising and falling, the coolness of the air entering your nose, or the warmth as you exhale. Bringing your attention here slows down racing thoughts and helps your body relax. Another way to practice mindfulness is by tuning into your senses. Look around and name 5 things you can see. Notice 4 sounds, 3 sensations in your body, 2 smells, and 1 taste. This exercise pulls you out of your worries and back into the moment. Your mind can't worry about the past or future when it's busy noticing the world around you. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to interrupt negative thinking patterns and stay grounded. Mindfulness also teaches you to accept what you're feeling without fighting it. When everything falls apart, it's natural to want to push away sadness, fear, or anger. But denying these feelings only gives them more power. When you allow yourself to fully experience your emotions without labeling them as good or bad, you reduce their intensity. Imagine sitting with a heavy feeling and simply saying to yourself, "This is what it feels like right now." Acceptance doesn't mean you have to like what's happening, but it frees you from struggling against your own experience. It's common to resist discomfort because it's painful. Yet mindfulness encourages you to lean into that discomfort just enough to learn from it. This approach builds mental strength because it trains your mind to handle difficult moments without collapsing. You become less afraid of your emotions and more capable of moving through them. The practice becomes a tool you can rely on whenever life threatens to overwhelm you. One of the greatest benefits of mindfulness is that it slows down time inside your head. When you feel trapped by stress, your mind rushes so fast that every problem seems huge. Mindfulness interrupts that cycle by creating space between your reaction and the situation. This space lets you see options you couldn't before. You can choose to act with calmness rather than panic. You regain your ability to think clearly and make decisions that help rather than harm. Regular mindfulness practice changes the way your brain functions. Over time, your reactions become less automatic and more thoughtful. Your nervous system learns to stay calmer even when things around you are chaotic. This rewiring isn't magic, it's the result of consistent effort. It's like training a muscle that helps you stay steady during storms. Starting mindfulness can be as easy as dedicating a few minutes each day to focus quietly on your breath or body sensations. You don't need a special place or a lot of time. Even a short pause in the middle of a busy day can reset your nervous system and improve your mood. The key is consistency. Like any habit, the more you do it, the stronger it becomes. Mindfulness also improves your ability to notice early signs of stress or anxiety. When you're more aware of how your body and mind react to pressure, you can intervene sooner. Instead of waiting until you're overwhelmed, you catch yourself and use calming techniques right away. This early response prevents small problems from becoming big crises. It's important to remember, mindfulness doesn't erase problems or instantly fix emotional pain. It simply changes your relationship with those challenges. Instead of being a prisoner to your thoughts and feelings, you become the driver. This shift in perspective is powerful because it gives you back control over your mental state. When everything is falling apart, your mind often wants to escape reality. You may find yourself stuck in regrets, fears, or fantasies about how things should be. Mindfulness gently reminds you that these are just thoughts, not facts. Thoughts come and go like clouds in the sky, but you don't have to chase them or believe every one of them. Learning to watch your thoughts without getting caught up in them reduces mental suffering. Mindfulness can also be combined with movement, like walking or stretching, to deepen the effect. When you pay attention to the sensations in your body as you move, it strengthens your connection to the present. This awareness helps you feel more grounded and calm, even when your surroundings are stressful. Some people worry mindfulness will make them focus too much on negative feelings. But mindfulness is about balance. It helps you notice all your emotions, good, bad, or neutral, without letting any single feeling take over. You develop emotional flexibility, which is a hallmark of mental strength. You become more resilient because you can ride the waves of your emotions without drowning. Even in the hardest moments, mindfulness offers a safe refuge. When you focus on your breath or your senses, you create a tiny island of peace inside the storm. This peace isn't about escaping reality, but about facing it with more clarity and calmness. With mindfulness, you build an inner sanctuary that no external chaos can easily destroy. Using mindfulness when everything feels broken doesn't mean you ignore your responsibilities or pretend everything is fine. Instead, it means you show up fully, with a clearer mind and steadier heart. You handle problems one step at a time, rather than being overwhelmed by everything at once. In the long run, mindfulness changes how you live your life. It makes you more patient with yourself and others. It improves your focus and helps you make decisions that align with your values. Most importantly, it builds mental strength by training you to stay present and calm no matter what life throws your way. Starting this practice today is one of the most practical and powerful steps you can take to be mentally strong when everything falls apart. It doesn't erase pain, but it equips you with the clarity and calm to face it head-on. With time and patience, mindfulness becomes a steady anchor that keeps you from drifting in the storm. When life gets hard, your mind doesn't have to be your enemy. Mindfulness helps turn your mind into a powerful ally that supports you with peace, focus, and resilience. Number 8. Learn from setbacks instead of fearing failure. Failure hits everyone at some point. It's a hard fact of life. No one escapes it, no matter who they are or how successful they seem. But here's the truth most people don't realize. Failure itself isn't what breaks us. What breaks us is the fear of failing again and the way we respond to setbacks. When things fall apart, it's easy to feel like everything is lost, like the ground beneath you has disappeared. The natural reaction is to avoid failure at all costs, to shrink back from challenges and to stop trying. But that kind of thinking only keeps you stuck and weak. True mental strength comes when you change how you see failure and setbacks. Instead of fearing them, you learn from them, you grow, and you use them as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Setbacks feel painful because they interrupt the story we tell ourselves about how life should be. When you imagine the future, you picture success, progress, and happiness. So when something goes wrong, it feels like a shock. It's like a punch to your confidence, your plans, and your sense of control. But setbacks don't have to define your story. They are just chapters, not the whole book. The way you handle these chapters determines where the story goes next. Fear of failure often leads to avoidance. People stop taking risks or trying new things because they're afraid of making mistakes or looking bad. This fear narrows your world and limits your potential. It's important to understand that mistakes and failures are part of learning. Nobody becomes better or stronger without encountering difficulties. When you learn to accept that failure is a natural part of growth, you remove much of the fear and anxiety around it. The key to learning from setbacks is to examine what happened honestly, without excuses or blame. This means looking at your actions, decisions, and circumstances to understand what led to the result. You don't do this to criticize yourself harshly, but to gain insight. Ask yourself what you could do differently next time. What lessons can you take away? What skills do you need to build? This reflection turns failure into valuable information, not just pain. When you adopt this mindset, setbacks become opportunities rather than disasters. They show you what's not working, point out areas where you can improve, and motivate you to get stronger. Each setback is a chance to develop resilience and resourcefulness. It's a way of training your mind to handle adversity rather than collapse under it. It's also important to separate your sense of self-worth from your failures. You are not your mistakes or your setbacks. Your value doesn't depend on success alone. This distinction frees you from the pressure of perfection and allows you to take risks with more confidence. When you stop tying your identity to outcomes, you give yourself permission to fail and learn. Stories of people who achieved great things almost always include setbacks. They didn't avoid failure. They faced it, learned from it, and kept moving forward. That's what makes them mentally strong. Their strength isn't in never falling down, but in how they rise after they fall. This resilience comes from knowing failure is temporary and useful, not permanent or shameful. When setbacks happen, emotions like disappointment, frustration, and sadness are normal. Don't try to ignore or suppress these feelings. Allow yourself to feel them fully. Processing your emotions honestly helps prevent them from building up and turning into fear or hopelessness. After feeling your emotions, shift your focus toward what you can control: your attitude and your next steps. Building a habit of learning from setbacks also means you need patience. Growth isn't immediate. The lessons from failure often become clearer over time. You might not see the benefit right away, but with persistence, the wisdom gained will pay off. This long view is crucial to maintaining mental strength when things fall apart. Another important aspect is to share your failures and lessons with others. Talking about setbacks openly reduces shame and isolation. It also helps you gain perspective from people who might offer advice or encouragement. When you realize others face similar struggles, it becomes easier to stay motivated and hopeful. Visualizing setbacks differently can also help. Instead of seeing failure as an endpoint, picture it as a detour or a signal that guides you toward a better path. This shift in thinking turns obstacles into guides, making your journey more purposeful. You begin to trust that every setback has meaning and contributes to your progress. It's common for setbacks to shake your confidence. To rebuild it, focus on your past successes and strengths. Remember times when you overcame difficulties or solved tough problems. This reminder reinforces your belief in your abilities. Confidence isn't about never failing. It's about knowing you can handle failure when it comes. Failures also test your commitment to your goals. They reveal how badly you want what you're working for. When you learn from setbacks, you often discover a deeper sense of purpose and motivation. You become more determined because your vision grows clearer through the hard lessons. Avoiding failure means avoiding growth. When you lean into failure with a learning mindset, you develop qualities like perseverance, humility, and flexibility. These qualities are essential for mental toughness. They prepare you for future challenges and help you bounce back quicker. Many people give up too soon because setbacks feel overwhelming. But the truth is that the greatest achievements often come after the hardest failures. Mental strength means sticking with your path even when it's difficult and using every setback as a teacher. This attitude transforms struggles into powerful fuel for success. You might face external criticism or doubt after setbacks. People may question your decisions or your ability to succeed. This criticism can hurt, but it also offers another chance to prove yourself, not to others, but to yourself. Your response to criticism shows how much mental strength you have developed. Learning from setbacks also means taking responsibility. Owning your part in what went wrong without blaming others gives you control. When you blame, you give away your power. When you accept responsibility, you gain the ability to change and improve. As you practice this mindset, remember it doesn't mean being hard on yourself or expecting perfection. It means being honest, kind, and realistic. You treat yourself like a student who is committed to learning and growing. You forgive your mistakes, but you don't ignore them. Setbacks test not only your skills but also your character. How you face failure reveals who you are inside. Mental strength shines brightest when you continue despite doubts, fears, and setbacks. You become someone who doesn't quit, who adapts and keeps moving forward no matter what. It's also helpful to keep a journal or record of your setbacks and what you learned from them. Writing down your experiences clarifies your thinking and reinforces the lessons. It helps you track progress over time and recognize patterns that need attention. In times when everything falls apart, embracing failure as a teacher can feel incredibly difficult. But this mindset is the difference between staying stuck and finding a way forward. It builds confidence by proving you can survive setbacks and grow stronger from them. Ultimately, learning from setbacks makes you unstoppable. It prepares you for life's inevitable challenges and reduces the power fear has over you. When failure no longer scares you, you unlock potential that many never reach. Facing setbacks with courage and a desire to learn creates a foundation of mental strength. Number 9. Take care of your physical health consistently. When everything around you seems to be falling apart, the first thing that often gets neglected is your body. Yet your physical health is the foundation of your mental strength. When you feel drained, weak, or sick, it's harder to think clearly, stay calm, and make good decisions. The truth is, your body and mind are connected deeply. Neglecting one will inevitably weaken the other. Mental toughness doesn't come from pushing yourself to the brink of exhaustion. It comes from nurturing yourself consistently, starting with your physical health. The reality is that life's storms test every part of you, but your physical condition determines how well you can weather those storms. Imagine trying to carry a heavy load when your muscles are weak, or driving a car without enough fuel. Your body needs the right care to function at its best. When you take care of your body through simple daily habits, you build a reserve of energy, clarity, and resilience to face whatever life throws at you. This doesn't mean you have to be an athlete or spend hours in the gym. It means making intentional choices that support your well-being. Eating nourishing food, staying hydrated, getting enough sleep, and moving your body regularly are essential. These are not luxuries, they are necessities. When your body is cared for, your mind responds with better focus, less stress, and a greater capacity to handle challenges. Sleep is one of the most overlooked factors in mental strength. When you're sleep-deprived, your ability to control emotions, solve problems, and think logically decreases sharply. The mind becomes foggy and overwhelmed. Consistent, quality sleep helps repair your brain, reset your mood, and sharpen your thinking. It's not about occasional long nights, but about establishing a regular sleep schedule. Prioritizing sleep means you're giving your mind and body the chance to recharge fully. Nutrition plays a critical role too. Your brain and muscles need fuel, and that fuel comes from the food you eat. Processed foods, excessive sugar, and junk food can make you feel sluggish, anxious, and drained. On the other hand, whole foods rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants support brain health and stabilize your energy levels. Simple meals with vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, and whole grains create the foundation for mental and physical endurance. Hydration is often underestimated. Even mild dehydration can reduce concentration and increase feelings of stress. Drinking enough water throughout the day keeps your body systems working properly. It helps maintain energy, clears your mind, and supports mood stability. Drinking water is a simple, powerful habit that often gets overlooked when life gets chaotic. Physical activity is another key component. Movement is not just about burning calories. It's about stimulating your brain and releasing chemicals that improve mood and reduce anxiety. Even gentle exercise like walking, stretching, or yoga can increase blood flow to the brain and calm the nervous system. When you move your body regularly, you become more resilient to stress and better able to cope with difficult emotions. The challenge during tough times is that stress and overwhelm often make us want to retreat and do less. But physical self-care is exactly what builds strength. The body becomes a source of power rather than weakness when you treat it well. It's about creating habits, no matter how small, that signal to your brain and body that you are protecting yourself. This creates a cycle of positive momentum. Routine matters here. The more consistent you are with sleep, nutrition, hydration, and movement, the easier it becomes to maintain these habits, even under pressure. When things fall apart, sticking to a routine can feel like a lifeline. It gives structure and predictability, helping reduce anxiety and chaos. It reminds your mind and body that you are still in control of something important, your health. It's also important to be mindful of harmful coping mechanisms. When life is hard, some people turn to alcohol, drugs, overeating, or other destructive behaviors to numb pain or stress. These may offer temporary relief, but weaken both body and mind in the long run. They create more problems and increase vulnerability. Mental strength means choosing actions that support your well-being instead of tearing it down. Listening to your body is essential. Pay attention to signs of exhaustion, pain, or illness. Ignoring these signals only leads to bigger problems. Taking breaks, resting when needed, and seeking medical care when necessary are parts of caring for yourself. Strength isn't about pushing through every moment without pause. It's about respecting your limits and knowing when to slow down. Many people underestimate how much physical health impacts emotional resilience. When your body feels good, you feel more hopeful and motivated. You're more likely to make better choices and handle stress with calmness. When you neglect your health, even small problems feel overwhelming, and your mind spirals into negative thinking. Caring for your physical health also improves your self-esteem. When you nourish your body and treat it well, you send yourself a powerful message. You matter, and you deserve to be cared for. This builds inner confidence and helps you stand strong during difficult times. Physical self-care becomes an act of self-respect that strengthens your mental toughness. Even in the worst situations, small actions toward physical health add up. Drinking a glass of water, taking a short walk, choosing a healthy snack, or going to bed a little earlier each night all contribute to your ability to cope. Over time, these actions create a foundation that supports your mental strength consistently. It's also helpful to remember that physical health is not a one-time fix, but a lifelong commitment. Challenges will come and go, but the habits you build today will carry you through future storms. Being consistent with physical self-care means investing in a resource you can always draw on when things get tough. Sometimes physical health care may require professional help, whether it's from doctors, nutritionists, or fitness experts. Seeking guidance is not a sign of weakness, but a smart choice that reinforces your commitment to yourself. Getting the right advice can accelerate your progress and prevent setbacks. Your physical health influences your emotional health and vice versa. Stress and anxiety can create tension in your muscles, disrupt sleep, and cause digestive issues. Taking care of your body also helps reduce these physical symptoms of stress. It creates a positive feedback loop where better health leads to better mental state, which in turn promotes better physical health. When your body is strong, you have the stamina to face life's difficulties head-on. You're less likely to feel overwhelmed and more able to stay focused on solutions. You develop the endurance to keep going, even when setbacks come. Your body becomes an ally, not an enemy, in your journey toward mental strength. Mental toughness in times of crisis isn't about ignoring your body's needs, but honoring them. It's about understanding that physical health is the soil in which mental strength grows. Without good soil, the strongest seeds won't flourish. Give yourself the care your body deserves and watch your resilience grow in response. Every day is a new chance to care for your body. Even small, consistent steps build a powerful foundation. When life falls apart, you'll have the strength, clarity, and calm to keep moving forward because your physical health supports your mental toughness. This is the reality. Without taking care of your physical self, mental strength cannot reach its full potential. Number 10. Seek professional help when mental strength feels insufficient. There comes a moment in many people's lives when no matter how hard they try, the weight of their struggles feels unbearable. The walls seem to close in, and the usual tools no longer work. It's a reality many face, but few talk about openly. The truth is, mental strength has its limits. It's not a sign of weakness to admit when you need help. In fact, recognizing that your own strength isn't enough is one of the bravest and most important steps you can take. When everything falls apart, seeking professional support can make the difference between sinking deeper or climbing out of the pit. Mental health professionals, therapists, counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists are trained to guide you through overwhelming emotions, complicated thoughts, and painful experiences. They offer a safe space where judgment doesn't exist, only understanding and expertise. Many people believe they have to figure everything out on their own, but nobody was meant to carry all burdens without support. Sometimes, the hardest and smartest thing you can do is to reach out and ask for help. The struggle often starts with denial. People convince themselves they just need to be stronger, tougher, or that the pain will fade with time. But when those feelings persist or worsen, it's crucial to realize that professional help isn't about weakness. It's about strategy. It's about adding the right tools to your toolbox. Just like you wouldn't try to fix a broken bone without a doctor, you shouldn't hesitate to get help when your mind is hurting deeply. One of the biggest barriers to seeking help is stigma. Society often paints mental health struggles as personal failures or flaws. That is simply not true. Mental health conditions are real health issues that affect millions. Professionals understand this and can provide evidence-based strategies to help you navigate your pain, develop coping skills, and regain control over your life. Accepting this support can accelerate your recovery and prevent further damage to your emotional and physical well-being. Professional help isn't a quick fix or a magic solution. It's a process that requires courage, patience, and openness. The benefit lies in having a knowledgeable guide who can help you see patterns you might miss, challenge negative thoughts, and teach you healthy ways to manage stress, anxiety, depression, or trauma. They can help you break down overwhelming problems into manageable parts and find solutions that fit your life. Some people fear that seeking professional help means they're broken or flawed. This couldn't be further from the truth. Everyone faces moments when their mind is overpowered by emotions or circumstances beyond their control. Professionals don't judge, they help you rebuild. They empower you to develop resilience, not just survive but thrive despite the hardships. There are different types of professional support available, and finding the right fit is important. Some people benefit from talking therapies where they explore feelings and thoughts deeply. Others may need medical support when symptoms become severe or interfere with daily life. Sometimes a combination of both is needed. The key is to be open to the options and to seek what feels right for your unique situation. Reaching out for help can feel intimidating. The fear of being misunderstood or the stigma attached to mental health can hold people back. However, many find that once they take that first step, relief begins almost immediately. Having someone listen without judgment, someone who understands the complexity of mental struggles, brings a sense of hope and light that was missing. Professional help also brings accountability. When you're working with a trained expert, you're more likely to stick with your recovery plan. They encourage you to set realistic goals and celebrate progress, even when it feels small. This consistent support makes the journey less lonely and more manageable. It's important to remember that asking for help doesn't mean you won't still face challenges. It means you're better equipped to face them. You'll have new skills, a stronger mindset, and a support system that understands you. Over time, these factors combine to rebuild your mental strength from a place of knowledge and care, not just willpower. Sometimes people hesitate because they think they should be able to handle everything alone or believe others have it worse. But everyone deserves support. Comparing your pain to others or measuring suffering won't lessen your own experience. Your feelings and struggles are valid, and seeking help honors your worth. When the burden feels too heavy, don't wait for things to get worse before acting. Early intervention can prevent deeper wounds. The sooner you connect with a professional, the faster you can learn to manage the stress and chaos that threaten your mental stability. Professionals can also help with practical guidance, like how to create a daily routine, manage overwhelming emotions, or rebuild relationships damaged by stress. They provide tools for navigating setbacks and can even help identify underlying issues that may contribute to your struggles. Friends and family may care deeply, but professional help offers a different level of expertise. It's not a replacement for your loved ones, but a valuable addition to your support network. They provide specialized knowledge and techniques that friends simply don't have. It's normal to feel vulnerable or scared about sharing your inner struggles with a stranger, but mental health professionals are trained to build trust and create a safe environment for you to open up. This trust is the foundation for healing and growth. Seeking help also teaches you self-compassion. It's an act of kindness toward yourself. It says, I deserve care, I deserve to heal. This mindset shift is powerful because it replaces self-criticism and shame with acceptance and hope. Sometimes a crisis triggers the decision to seek help. Other times it's a quieter, steady recognition that things aren't improving. Either way, it's important to respect your feelings and honor your needs. There is strength in acknowledging when you can't do it alone. You might worry about the cost or logistics of getting help, but there are many resources available: free hotlines, community programs, sliding scale fees, and telehealth options. Finding support is more accessible than ever before. Mental health professionals do more than help you cope. They help you build a life where mental challenges don't control you. They help you discover strengths you didn't know you had and reclaim your peace and purpose. It's essential to know that recovery is not linear. There will be good days and hard days, but having professional guidance increases the chances of moving forward steadily. This ongoing support builds true mental toughness over time. If you feel exhausted from fighting alone, seeking professional help is a wise and courageous step. It doesn't mean you have failed. It means you are ready to take care of yourself at a deeper level. It means you are ready to regain control and rebuild your life, even when everything feels broken. The journey to mental strength includes knowing when to ask for support beyond your own efforts. When the load is too much, professional help offers the tools, understanding, and care needed to rise again. This choice isn't just survival, it's a powerful act of hope and commitment to a better tomorrow.